What's up, Raider Nation? Welcome to For Life, our Raiderettes Roundtable. I'm Spicy Raider Girl here with Mother Moon, and we are back with one of football's fabulous females, Miss Erica. She is backstage right now. And hey, we are in season 2, our premiere episode of season 2. Mother Moon, can you believe it?
No, I can't believe it. We've had some fabulous Raiderettes on the show, and with their season starting now, I'm so excited to bring Erica on. She's going to give us a little cheer and how it's done. I'm so excited.
All right, and she'll be with us right after this. Welcome again to For Life, our Raiderettes Roundtable. You know what to do. Light that torch by hitting that like button. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. And if you want to become a member, hit that join button to become a member. If you are playing with us tonight, and if you are of age, the drinking game alert is Raiderette. I'm going to switch it up tonight a little bit, by the moon. Every time we say Raiderette, drink. If you don't drink, toke. And if you don't do either one of those, just do some hairography.
Oh,
I got a little inspired by the intro there. So
hairography, we're ready for that.
We are ready for some hairography. I won't be doing it. Maybe we'll get a little hairography tutorial from Erica. She will be joining us here shortly. So yeah, we are in season 2, Mother Moon, and I must say this is my favorite show on this network. I love speaking to these ladies. They are just they're inspiring, right? They're like the energy these women give is just like something that is unmatched, I will say.
Every time we're done speaking to these ladies, it's like, I want to be like her when I grow up.
I know. Is it too late? Have I missed my calling?
Yeah,
so if you have a question for Erica, please leave a comment in the chat, and we will have a chance for her to answer some of these questions. We have some already, but we're going to wait, of course, until we get into the thick of it. Without further ado, let's bring on our fabulous female, Miss Erica. Welcome to the show.
Hello. I got it was such nostalgia just watching that intro video, just seeing the Oakland Coliseum and some of the girls I cheered with. So that was very cool.
I know, it's so much fun. And speaking of the Oakland Coliseum, so you were a Raiderette from 2004 to 2008. Of course, those were the years of being an Oakland Raider. And if you know anything about this show, you know Mother Moon and I are Oakland Raider fans first and foremost. We still love our team, but you know.
So am I. It's where the grit was, just nothing compares to those days in Oakland. And just if you've been there, you know what we're talking about, because it was just nothing compares. Even games now, I mean, it's luxury, it's nice, but it's not the same. It's such a different.
It's not the same. And I love how you said that. Like, if you're there, you know. It's almost like I feel for some of these fans who never had that opportunity to experience it, because it is very different. Like you said, it's still nice, but hey, it's just kind of a different experience.
I mean, you feel like you're walking through like Darth Vader's home, and it's luxury, and it's like dark and like space, like you're in the spaceship. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I prefer Allegiant Stadium over SoFi. I prefer it over all these, you know, even over in Arlington. It's such an amazing stadium. It has such good vibes, but the Oakland Coliseum was just where it was, you know, it was something special. It was very, very special.
Definitely special. And I'm an outdoors kind of girl. I love to watch football on the outdoors.
The elements.
And the elements for sure. You know, there's sometimes a little extra smoke out there. We all know what that's from. But that's, you know, the Oakland air.
The Oakland air. That is the Oakland air, Mother Moon.
It is. Loved
Let's
it.
say what's up to the chat. We have Chris from Protect the Shield podcast. Salute Spicy Moon and the beautiful Erica. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. All right, we're gonna talk about football, but you know we got Erica here. We take her over the quarterback. But what's good? Travis says he'll be twerking because he's not going to be participating in any drinking. It's all good. Leo, thanks for joining us.
Hey,
We
Leo.
appreciate you. We got a little flattery going on here in the chat. Just a little slight flirting. I'm sure you're used to it, Erica. I'm sure you're used to it. Erica looks like she's still one of the fabulous Raiderettes.
Yes.
I mean, she will always be one of the Raiderettes, but I feel you. She looks like she could be on
She's
the
ready
squad.
to go on the field.
I have to say this. Okay.
Tell me.
Real quick. I almost didn't put the year up because I looked like she was recent and I almost was going to go with it. I was like, no, I'm going to give her yearly props.
Okay, so those who come in late to the chat, we have to see what they think, what year she.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's do this. Play a game.
Oh my
Let's see.
gosh.
No, they're gonna say last year.
But let's start. This is a great way to start. I think the chat. We have the question here. How did you get involved or get inspired or decide to audition to be a Raiderette?
To be a Raiderette.
So I think my story was very different than most girls. Most girls have been dancing since they were really young. I mean, I was always an athlete and I was always kind of like that go-getter type of girl. I ran track. I did heptathlon. I did the whole like soccer thing. But one day out of the blue, I went to a Raider game and I was like, oh my God, that would be so amazing. Like, I want to be a Raiderette. So I go home, and this is a true story, you guys. I go home. I'm working at the time for like this construction company because, I was 2 years, into college. After I didn't really want to do the college thing at the time. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I quit my job. I told my mom I was moving to Oakland. At the time, I kind of had been talking to a guy I was kind of, interested and we weren't, So anyways, I moved to Oakland, Bay Area. I try out, but keep in mind, I have no dance experience. I've never danced. And I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm going to see what it's like. So I go,
let me just see.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to go to the auditions. This is cool. I had met Lupita, who was one of the Raiderettes, before I cheered. I ended up cheering with her, but I met her at a game. I thought she was so beautiful. And she was like, you should come try out. She's like, tryouts are in April. So I went online. I got the information, sent the application in. I tried out and I didn't make it. Okay. Yep. That was actually the first year, audition. No, it was my second year auditioning because my first year I did not make it. And, but I walked away and I was like, okay, that's easy. I know what I need to do. So I went out, I hired a private, like a dance instructor, and that entire I did dancing. Like I danced. I did hip hop. I did jazz. I went to dance classes. Next year comes around and I freaking made the team. And I was like, I had no idea, you guys. I had no idea what was in store for me because these women could pick up a routine so quickly that I had no idea what I had just done. And every night I was like, I would go home and I would cry. And I was like, you know what? You better just put in the work. You better practice your little butt off. I would get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, go to work, come home, go to practice, tape the dances, come home, practice. I mean, I was on dance probation. Karen Kovac was like, Erica, we didn't think you were going to make it.
Oh, wow.
they were like, for sure we thought we were going to cut you because you were so bad. I remember Adrian Mama, who Adrian Harris, I don't know if you guys know her.
Yeah, she's been on our show, of course.
Yeah, Adrian, she was my big sister. And I remember the first time we did we went on the field because it's dancing. It's different to dance in a studio than it is to dance on grass, getting ready.
Yeah.
And I remember she pulled me aside and she was like, Erica, this is terrible. What are you going to do? I'm like, I had no idea what I was doing. I wanted to cry. I was like, oh my God, this is like, how am I going to make it through? Like I took somebody's spot. I'm not going to quit. And, I just, at the end of the day, my captain, Kristen, who I have to give her a lot of credit, Kristen Medwick was instrumental. I would go to her house after practice. I would tape my routines. And before you knew it, I was part of the team. I was a dancer. So my story is a little bit different because nowadays you could never pull that off ever.
Right. Oh, right.
I mean, that's an incredible story. Like you're like, hey, I like what the Raiders do. Hey, mom, I'm leaving. Boyfriend, I'm piecing out. I don't know how to dance, and I'm doing it. Like, huh?
Talk about a girl who goes and gets it and earns, right? And earns what you worked for.
And got cut and came back for more.
And they probably saw them as well. It's like, that you were there the year before and they're like, oh, who's this girl? Then you came back. You must have had such an improvement for you to make it. And they noticed that. Hard work.
I really did because I nailed the routine because we have a week to learn it, so I put in the work and I was like, I could do this. So I nailed it. I came in with lots of confidence and in my mind, I was going to be a Raiderette. I was like, I'm going to nail this. I put in the work. This is going to, and I remember calling my mom. And I was like, my mom speaks Spanish because she doesn't speak very good English. And I called her. I was like, Mom, voy a hacer una Raiderette. And she was like, yes, okay. Like she didn't even know what that was. So it was really cool. Like, I mean, I was always a Raider fan growing up in my hometown. We were the Raiders and the cheerleaders were the Raiderettes. So I was always a Raiders fan. Coming into the experience, I had no idea what was in store for me that first season. So, that was my story on how I made it.
Well, if I was your mom, I'd be very proud of you.
She knows what the Raiderettes are now. That's for sure. Can I want to fast forward a little bit because we were going to jump to this at the end of the segment, but I think this is a perfect full circle moment where you go from that story to being, it's a little small, my apologies, but you are in there, Erica, you are the second from the left, now judging these women. Tell me about that experience.
Ooh.
I believe it was 2 years ago, I got a phone call from the director, Tiffany McNiff, who's incredible, by the way. And if you guys haven't had her on, you need to, because she's amazing.
Okay.
Former Raiderette. She called me, and I was actually on the golf course with some friends, my husband, and she sends me a text first and she says, do you want to be a guest judge for the Las Vegas Raiderette auditions? And I almost fell off my car because I was like, I literally started to cry and I was like, I would be honored. So this is my third year. The guy, I don't know, in the picture where you met, the guy next to me is Kirk Morrison, who was a linebacker for the Raiders. And I knew him during the times because we were all, everybody kind of knew each other and stuff. But it was kind of cool to see him. Heather was one of the other. I never cheered with Heather, but she was one of the judges, and it was just a really cool experience. Paula Abdul was the guest judge that year, which you guys, I'm sure, know who Paula Abdul was.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard of her.
Good old Paula. But so it's a kind of like a full circle thing. I'm like this girl from like a small town coming into an organization that really truly changed the entire trajectory of my life and what I do now. I work in the beauty industry, and that was because of the organization and being into beauty and glamour and things like that. But and now I'm part of getting to choose. So it's a really cool full circle thing,
Definitely.
That's
and there's
gorgeous.
Miss Paula right there. Beautiful.
She looks
What's
amazing.
that?
She looks
she looks amazing. She really does. She really does. And she's, I don't know. I mean, everyone's heard of Paula Abdul, I think the singer, but I mean, I don't know if many people know, maybe they do. You know, she came from a dance background.
Mhm.
She was
She
a
did
Lakers.
she start as a Laker girl, right?
She's a Laker.
Yeah. Okay.
She was a
Wasn't
Lakers.
she on the show? Yeah.
So I think she does the American Idol. No, she did American Idol, or
She did. Yeah, she did at one point.
Mhm.
She's always
Definitely.
working on something. Yeah. Well, once again, just to be a cheerleader, just to be entertaining the crowd, you know, it's kind of in your blood, I think. Just being sweet. You can't go out there and be a little sour, right?
I
Right.
was always pretty brave. I don't know if I was much of a performer. I mean, being with my sisters on the field helped a lot. I don't think if I could do it myself, but it was a really cool experience that year. You know, but I put in a lot of work. Karen was amazing. The choreographers were great. A lot of my teammates were so supportive, and then they saw the work that I had to put in, and you know, I had to pull through, you know, and I did, and it was the best year of my life, hands down. It was incredible.
And then we have some props here from Travis. He says, "A woman with determination and drive. Much respect to you, Erica."
Thank you. That's
Tell
very
me a little bit about that. I know you do classes and things of that nature, public speaking. Do you share that type of story for? I assume it's mostly ladies, but for your audience who is looking to succeed, is that part of like, wow, let me share this, and that motivation that hopefully they can take from?
You know, I've thought about it, and it has come out in certain situations. You know, sometimes when I'm talking to students and they're like, you know, I have no experience in doing this, and I'm scared that I'm not going to do well. I'm like, when people like, you can be your own worst enemy when it comes to what you want to achieve, and if you're willing to put in the work, there's nothing that can hold you back from it. Because going through what I went through, I feel like if I could do that, and if I could survive and then continue as a Raiderette, I could do anything. So I do have those little conversations with people, and sometimes I do share the story, but a lot of people really don't know that, except for like my sisters, or like, you know, my Raiderette sisters and stuff, people that know my true story. So it's kind of cool to really, you know, share that.
To tell it. You know, and that's part of why we have this platform, is because I think we both think that the ladies' experience and journey is so important. I mean, we've always said you're athletes, you're part of this team, and the work that goes into doing what you do. I mean, you make it look easy, but I mean, really, it's not. Here we go, a beautiful photo here from you at the auditions. Was this season, this year?
That was last season. Oh no, that was the first year that that was the previous year. So that was the first year I was a guest judge. Last year was on a America's Got Talent stage. So that was.
Oh, nice. Where did they film that?
At the Luxor. They have
okay. Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. So that was kind of cool.
And auditions going on as we speak, correct? Or was it already finished?
No, as a matter of fact, I believe this weekend is the last prep class before the audition process. And guess how many people are trying out this year, you guys?
Oh my gosh.
I'm thinking thousands.
I was thinking 300 or 400, but more?
I'm thinking thousands.
Oh, okay. Tell us.
Chat, wait a minute. Before you tell us, hold on, chat. Guess the number here. Let's see who can get the closest. Maybe we'll have a prize for someone who guesses the closest. How many? So the question is, how many Raiderettes are currently? I guess trying out this year.
Are trying out this year to audition for the Las Vegas Raiderettes. How many?
How many? Yeah, I think you're right with your.
How many?
How many applicants? All right, we've got 378 from Travis.
I love your number, Travis.
I know, it must be like his lucky numbers combined or something. But yeah. Did you have a guess, Mother Moon?
I said about 3, 4, but 100. But you're right. I'm thinking it has to be. I'm going to go with 2,555. I'm going to be the closest. 2,555. No,
really. 420. 250. So everyone's in the hundreds. I'm the only one in the.
Okay, here we go.
All right, 400, 1498. Okay, we have someone in the thousands.
Okay, so
I'm gonna say it's like in the 3,000s.
oh wow. Okay, is that the final
Tell
guess?
us.
I don't know. I'm thinking it's because we're in Las Vegas.
You don't get 400 guesses.
I don't. I'm so indecisive. 2555. My guess.
All right, Erica.
Drum roll.
I think Mother Moon. I think you're nailing it, because I think it's the last time I talked to her, they were like halfway. I think it was like 2,200, 2,300, and I think it's gone up since. So it's pretty impressive. I think they're probably at about 2,500 right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Can you imagine the terror that these poor Raiderettes are going through, knowing that all these women are coming in to take their spot, and even as a judge,
yeah.
to
You even think of that.
them. I mean, how do you? It's all going to come down to stage presence and who can really capture your attention. So that's going to be a very hard thing to do this year.
So how was the first elimination? Do you look at height? Do you look at I think she looks like
Stage presence, she said.
Well, yeah. Do they have to speak to you? 2,500 all have to say something?
No,
I suppose they do.
Auditions have really changed, and I'm only part of the final. So when we get the final group, typically like last year it was 50, but I would imagine maybe this year it's going to be even more than that because of the number of people trying out. I believe last year might have been 500 applicants, but I believe now they do interviews, so they want to make sure that you're well spoken. They make sure that you have good Raider knowledge. That you know things about the team. You're not just kind of wanting to come on. And then obviously dance. So they do a lot of prep classes. They give golden tickets out during these prep classes. So if they think that you have the talent, you make it through to the finals, which is pretty incredible. So it really encourages women to come out and be part of the prep classes. And then during the prelims, they do a lot of dancing. So they do cuts, and then they dwindle it down. So the Raiderettes don't have to do that part, only the new applicants. Oh, Raiderettes.
You just said Raiderettes a bunch of times, so you know what to do, everybody. And I just want to shout out to Leo. Thank you so much for this super chat. He says, love this show. Great to see another side of the Raider Nation. And, he thinks he has a picture from Oakland with you. Oh, that's fun.
That's
so fun. Can you share that somehow?
I know.
That's amazing. Very cool. Very cool.
Very cool.
So,
yeah,
let's kind of segue, if you don't mind. We'll show some photos and well, I'm speaking of photos on the wall. maybe some of the guys. I think this is from a calendar. Well, Moon's reaction said it all right there.
I hadn't seen it, so that's fabulous.
Oh,
all
yes.
right. Oh, that one.
You guys, this is my rookie year. My first time in a calendar, and I walk up to the calendar release party, and it's the first picture on a big poster board, and I'm like, oh my God. It was cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
I'm gonna have to say Raiderette to this photo. Cheers.
Where was this taken? Was it like, where is this, Hawaii or?
So we used to go to Hawaii. We used to go to the Waikoloa Hilton Resort. Karen Kovac would get that set up. And we'd go all around the resort and take shots in the most amazing, incredible places. That shot, the reason I was undoing my swimsuit is because it was falling off because I was in the water. And as I was doing it, I kind of looked up, and the photographer was like, taking pictures, and I looked at my director, and I was like, and she was like, go right ahead.
Go with it. It's very candid. It's cute.
Yeah, and it was.
I thought it was on purpose, honestly.
No, I was tying it, and it was a cool moment that they ended up capturing, and then that became part of the picture. This is one of my centerfolds from the calendar. I think it was like December. Yeah.
Maybe.
Very nice.
Very nice. Hey, maybe Erica has some headshots he wants to sign for some of you lucky fans out there. I don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know. Real
Very
quick, let's
cool.
shout out our boy Chris from Protect the Shield. Thank you for the super chat. He says, hi, Erica. Shout out to Spicy and Mother Moon, but hi, Erica. Oh, the recording has started. Everybody is loving these photos, of course. And then that leads to a little bit, how do you feel about seeing yourself on a billboard for the first time, maybe? And tell me where the location of this was. It's very small. I'm going to do my best to kind of show it here. It is a small photo, but I'm going to guess this was maybe like I'm going to go with like the 880 or something. Oh, it's really, really small.
Oh, okay.
It was on the 880. It was actually it came down all the way through Southern California. So it was on billboards everywhere. There was one in like by Pleasanton. There was one out off the 880. There was like, it was all the way up. So it's like Raiders territory, not all the way down to San Diego. But I got the call from Karen Kovac and she was like, are you sitting down? And I was like, why? And she
that actually seems like bad news, right?
Yeah, she was like, we've chosen you as the Coors Light point of sale, Raiderette.
Amazing.
The life-size stand-ups and the billboards. And I was just like, oh my God, this can't be real. Like every year, it's like you're making, like that was around the stadium, those big ones. And
I just noticed there's an actual human down there. Is that you?
Oh yes. Did you get to keep that poster? Is it a poster inside?
Yeah. I have the big life-size stand-ups. I have like the cutouts. Nice. The cutouts. Yeah, I do have those.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. She's talking about this. I think I have it right here. She's talking about.
Let's see.
I know these are cute, actually.
Yeah, that look to be like different photos we haven't seen. Oh, that's super cute.
I think she's
That's really cute. That's those were like big life size. They were like my size, and they would have them in point of sales all over like stores and grocery stores and things like that for Coors Light. So.
And I'm sure nobody's going to take this away from the photo, but I just want to talk about how we said that, you ladies are athletes and how fitness is very important. I mean, look at, she's got the six pack here is a very athletic body. And I mean, that's part of it. That's part of being a Raiderette, right? You have to stay in shape. You have to stay fit. Not only just to be able to look great in that uniform, but really to have the stamina to carry out these routines.
I mean, it was so hard during those practices. I don't know if I was just me that was out of shape, but I was always like huffing and puffing. I mean, I would sweat buckets. And then she'd be like, one more time. And I was like, this woman's trying to kill us. It was just, Karen Kovac is an incredible woman who had to balance out all these personalities. You had the veterans and you had women that were, 4 different lines of 10 people. And she had to make sure that we were the best on the field and just balancing all that out and being also like a really good role model for us. I mean, I feel very honored that she was my director because she pushed us to the limit. She pushed us and pushed us and pushed us. And she just taught us so many valuable things about working together, the sisterhood. And she's always like, I don't know, she was pretty incredible. They were very lucky to have her for all those years.
Yeah, she sounds incredible. We'd love to have her on the show sometime. Sure. She sounds like an important person to have. But can I just circle back to you saying you're out of shape? Like, I wish I wish that was my out of shape.
I know, right?
I'm like, okay. No, right? Yeah. Girl, you better do something about that.
I know.
Anyway, Travis would like to say he thinks you should raffle an autographed cutout. And Jay Jackson, what's good? I second that raffle.
I'm telling you, you would get a pretty penny for that.
I know, right?
Sure.
Well, it depends on how many she has. If she only has one, she probably wants to keep it.
Sure.
I do. I have a big one and I have a small one. My mom has one in her my mom's a beautician and she has one in her beauty salon. It's really cute.
Oh, that's cute.
That's a cute idea.
She's all, that's my baby. That's my me, haha. That's my baby.
That's my Mija.
Yeah.
So let's transition a little bit since we exposed your
right.
outer beauty here and eye candy as we saw some of the comments there. Let's talk a little bit about the common misconception of the Raiderettes' interaction with the Raiders players and kind of how that works. Because I think a lot of people think like it's taboo or it's off limits, and if it happens, that's kind of a negative note, if you will. Do you want to kind of clarify how that works?
Definitely. I mean, I think coming into it as a rookie, I mean, you build relationships with all the Raiderettes, and it's a small community, and we're all in our 20s, and we want to go out, and we do there's a lot of charity events and promotions with the organization, and we are in the same circle with the same guys. So there's been so many beautiful marriages with kids, with Raider players and Raiderettes. And what a lot of people don't know is that Al Davis always supported the Raiders dating the Raiderettes and never had rules against it. The only rule was that you had to find out, if you wanted to date a player, you had to find out if he was married, and you had to get permission and clearance. So that's what a lot of people don't know. It's so many organizations, if not maybe most of them, don't allow the fraternization. And I don't know what it is now, but when I was a Raiderette, it was if you were an adult, if you was single and you wanted to do it, it was okay to do that. Yeah.
Okay. And
I dated Jared Cooper, who is a strong safety. I remember I kept running into him, and he was like, he had all these tattoos. He was kind of funny, and he kept trying to ask me out. And I said, nope, if you want to date me, you have to go talk to Karen Kovac. And I remember the phone call, and Karen calls me and she goes, hi. I think it was during Christmas, and he was pretty suave. He actually took a picture of himself, signed it, walked it over to the Raiderette director's office, and then he was sending out pictures to the staff, signing autographs, and then he sat down with Karen and he said, there's a Raiderette I'm interested in. And she was like, are you married? And he was like, no. And she was like, you have my blessing. So she calls me and she's like, I just want you to know, I think he's a really nice guy, and if you want to date him, go for it. So
I love
that idea.
And he was like, I mean, looking back at my experience as a Raiderette, not only did I gain so many amazing relationships with my girlfriends, but having him as a boyfriend, and we actually ended up living together for a couple of years, so I would see the side of him working hard, the trials and tribulations that he would go through, injuries, the other players' friends, and then we would go out with friends and barbecue, and it was the best time of my life. Him and I had such a great friendship, and he taught me a lot too. So it was a great time in my life.
Yeah, I love that for two reasons. Thank you for clarifying that. Because like I said, I think it's a common misconception out there. And if I think most people think if it happens, it was done secretive.
On the down low, yeah.
Right. So thank you for clearing that up. But I also love this story. You put in the work.
I know, right?
You go court me.
I was terrified of Karen Kovac. I was like, no, I know the rules. You need to ask. It was like he had to go to my parent to ask for permission. It was really cute.
And I like that he did that.
Right.
Instead of wait for you. Yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah. And I mean, I learned a lot from him too, because he was really involved in animal rescue. And I never understood how he could, during his time off, he would go to the Oakland animal shelter and he would take those dogs out and clean their kennels. And, he would spend a lot of time. And I would always be like, how can you do that? I could never do that. And he was like, Erica, if you don't go and donate your time and help those poor animals, they never get out of their cages. They never needed to get out. So we actually started doing fundraisers and started raising money for the Oakland Animal Shelter, and ended up contributing to building an outdoor dog area that was fenced in. And to this day, it's called the Coop, which is after him. Yeah, and then we would have like cookouts with like a lot of like the Black Hole people, like the Raider Nation. So it was a really cool, fun time, and he taught me a lot about animal rescue and giving back, and that was and the ability to be able to pull that and get the donations and
yeah.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. So thank you for doing that, especially for I know you were in Oakland at the time, but to do something for locally, Oakland always has a soft spot in our hearts. So
right. So
we really appreciate it. I want to say what's up to some people in the chat. Lucky, thank you for supporting us. He's a member of the channel. He says, "What's up, Raider fan? What is up? Space Beast Spicy. I'm here to support the channel with the martini. I love it. You can always support me with the martini." I don't know if they meant that, but
okay. We'll do it. We'll take it.
Yeah, we're gonna go with it. And then we see, did you know, am I saying this correctly? Angelia Johnson, did I say that correctly?
Angela?
I was just texting with her.
Oh,
nice.
Angela Johnson is probably the most famous Raiderette. She's
a comedian.
Oh, yeah. Comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she invited me to her baby's first year party, and I'm very good friends with her. Love her to death. She's like such a beautiful soul. So yes, I do.
I do remember that now, Mother Moon. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
We're gonna go all the way to the back to the top of the comments if we can, and we're gonna go back to this question. What was your fondest moment being a Raiderette? And as you can think about that and tell us, we're gonna show some photos of you from the sidelines. So 2004 to 2000, that's a pretty good stint, by the way. What are some of your fondest moments from that time?
Do you know, it's really difficult to pick like a certain, do you know what my favorite part was? It was always doing Hell's Bells. It was always going out when they were going to introduce the players, and then you hear the Hell's Bells, boom.
Yeah.
And then it would, that's where you would get the I always think about that. It's like, I wish I would have really captured the moment more. But everything. I mean, you're on the field, you're with the amazing fans, you're going on amazing promotions. I mean, it's really difficult to pick. But if I could pick one thing that was one of my favorite things, was being on the field during Hell's Bells.
Isn't that such a vibe? Like, I miss that in Vegas. Mm-hmm. They're slowly kind of starting to bring the vibe back a little bit, I feel. But isn't that so true? Like, when that song hit, you knew. It was like going down. Faces on. It was like I was ready to run through a wall. Like,
it was game time for sure.
I have chills right now just thinking about it. When I was like doing that, it was a feeling that, like, it was like we were all coming together for one purpose, and it was the start of something really cool.
It was an Raider anthem per se. It was like everybody's up. Everybody's standing and ready to rock.
It was just a vibe. It was just the vibe. It was like the Raiders are coming to destroy you, and we're coming to destroy you as fans as well. We're gonna talk trash and cheer hard and lose our voice and whip that hair in your, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
There it is.
It was a very cool time.
Another shot of you out of shape, by the way.
Yeah, I need to work on that.
By the way, I'm not hating. If you didn't see from earlier, she was saying she felt out of shape.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Tell me, which line or row did you represent?
Mother Moon.
I was in line 3 all my seasons. Line 3.
Okay, so let's guess the height by line. I'm gonna go 5.
By 5. Oh yeah, she's line 3.
Yes.
You nailed
5'6".
it.
Yay!
Good.
In case you didn't know, it goes by height.
They go by height. Space, he says, Raiderette Erica, thank you for mentioning Hell's Bells. Raiders were the first to bring AC/DC to the football field.
Best ever.
Travis gets 5'7". I think that would have been maybe like line 4 for sure.
Line 4. That would have been
Yeah.
Those are the tall girls.
Mm.
Yeah.
And talk about the field. How did you feel about baseball and football field? You got to prep for the grass. You got to prep for the dirt. I mean, it is what it is.
It wasn't fun when it rained because we had
So I heard.
like it would be muddy or going out and dancing. So there was a lot of slipping going on, and I can't even imagine the poor guys getting hit on the field. But yeah, I mean, it was just part of the thing. We didn't know any better. It was just part of the field for part of the season,
For part of the season, right? So we hear the players talk about how different it was from dancing. They're dancing.
Yeah, the guys are dancing out
The
there.
guys are dancing from playing on the grass and then like running onto the field. So your line when it was the baseball field, were you on dirt or grass?
No, we were on grass. Yeah.
You were on grass. Okay. So, because it's like at some points you did dance in the dirt. Well, you certainly did on the sidelines.
Or on the pregame or
Right.
halftime shows, we would hit the center, so it was part of the dirt. So and then running
how
around.
much different was it?
Pardon me?
How much different was it? Because you've got these heels on, these boots, and like the difference between the grass and the dirt. Like, did you really have to like prep for a difference of surface to dance?
You just had to do it. I mean, I remember it was easy to slip on the dirt. If you're doing kick lines, you had to have really good, good balance because of the dirt. Made it a lot harder. But I mean, there was no excuses. We just had to be the best and pull out dance routines. And, Karen would be on the sidelines recording us, and then she would play it back and show our foot not being popped the whole time. I mean,
I love it. They have to watch film too. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Everyone, they have to watch film also.
She would like zoom in on your foot that's not popped. Because you're standing there, even just standing there, she was like, there are eyes on you every second of the game. You can never not be on.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you ladies were always on.
Yeah.
Right?
We were.
I never saw any of them slip and fall or anything. Well, look at her.
I did get taken out on a cart. I think it was my second year. It was a rainy day. I had a little, you remember those little Santa hats we used to have to wear on the field?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I sprained my knee on the last game of the season, and they had to take me in an ambulance to.
Oh, jeez.
They took me away in the little emergency cart on the side of the.
Did everybody clap and you gave the thumbs up?
Yeah, they're all clapping. I was giving my thumbs up, and it was really funny because when you watch the game back, they showed it and they were like, Raiderette being carted off or something.
I'm sure they all did clap because let me tell you, when the Raiderettes are out there, there's so much love for everyone. We act like we know the routines. Of course we do not.
For sure, we do.
But when you're out there, we're like, give it up for the ladies. We just appreciate your hard work because it is hard work.
Yeah, and we appreciate
we give us.
I mean, have you guys seen the new dancers now? They are just incredible. I mean, what Tiffany has done with those dancers, by far, they blow Dallas out of the water. They are by far the best dancers in the NFL. So,
well, you know what's interesting, right? Is everybody said that moving to Vegas was going to draw talent there, except they had wrong was not the players, the Raiderettes.
The Raiderettes, because they're, maybe some of them are showgirls and they dance and they have the beat down. I wonder.
No, well, I just think. I mean, you go for what was it in Oakland when you were there? Because we already talked about in Vegas. Now there's 2,500 applicants roughly.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember what it was in Oakland? Like 300.
I think like maybe 300, maybe 400 was like a peak. It was like, oh my God, 400 girls. But now just to hear the number 2,000 plus,
right?
Is just, I'm scared because you're making dreams. You're making dreams, but you're also like killing dreams. There's
right.
Make it back, and there's girls that are going to make the team. So So it's going to be really cool.
But isn't it kind of great that the Raiderettes are having this type of outcome, this draw, if you will, this participation? I mean, because for a long time we've heard that, you know, the big deal about the Cowboys girls and is that what they're called?
A Cowboy.
I don't know what they're called.
Sheriff in town.
Right. No pun intended.
I mean, Dallas isn't getting those numbers right now, and it's like where do they want to be? They want to be Raiderettes, and that says a lot about what's happening within the girls. So I think, and then just seeing them perform, I'm just like, I see videos, or when I go to the games, I'm just sitting there going like the choreography, and those girls nail it. They nail it. They're so talented.
Do you think that they would ever have like a preseason training camp fans to go see the Raiderettes at practice?
Oh, that would be fun.
Wouldn't
like the guys do.
Fun? Yeah, like we go and
that
watch the
game.
guys and we see how they're doing and they practice.
Like watch the rehearsals.
I know. I would love to go see that.
I'll mention that to Tiff.
That's a great idea, Mother Moon, and interact like for season ticket holders or something like coming.
Like especially when like they go on the field or even at the practice facility at the practice.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
Okay, can we get in on that for Mother Moon's idea? Like, pick me. I want to go. I want to go for free. Well, I don't think they would charge anyway. I don't think.
No, I just think that for the fans to see how
that's really cool.
How much hard work these ladies have to do. It's like do it again. Like you were saying. It's like again. It's like
the process. I think that would be so cool.
I would go.
Yeah, I'll mention that to her. I think that would be really cool. I know that they opened up the auditions maybe a year or two ago. That was really cool. And we had a lot of like young girls that were dancers all the way from like tiny to like a lot of the dance schools and stuff were there. So there was a huge audience. That was fun. Because they're performing.
Yeah, we love that.
Yeah. And that would help. I would think that would help the Raiderettes get used to the new ones that maybe aren't used to a crowd. Well, let me just put my application in here.
I think you're right, because it gives you like that when somebody's watching you and you have an audience, it makes you really give it that 110%.
Go full out. You got to go full out, right? Chief Rock One wants to know: do you still have your Raiderette handbook?
Oh.
You know, probably, because I have everything in this like big container where it has like we used to have like all the girls' numbers and mailing address and phone numbers like to contact each other, and then we had all the rules. So yeah, I'm sure I do somewhere.
All right. And this question leads us to something we already wanted to talk about. Have you seen the practice facilities for the Raiderettes? So I think he's talking about the Raiderette studio and perhaps even the locker room. And I want to get into this with you because you're an Oakland Raider. I'm going to call you Oakland Raider. Can I call you Oakland Raiderette? She's a Raiderette.
How many times did you say Raiderette? Hold on, I got to catch
Give me a shot. The drink doesn't work right now. No, I'm kidding. Tell us the difference between the two. Not that one is good or bad or better and everything is awesome, but tell us the difference.
Can I tell you my rookie year, it would be rainy. We'd have to go to this high school. I don't even remember. It was like San Leandro High School or something. And there'd be all these potholes and there was like muddy. Do you know what these veteran Raiderettes would do? And they wouldn't tell the rookies. They would get plastic bags and tie them over their tennis shoes so that their shoes wouldn't get wet at 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays. And that's where we had to go figure out our halftime performances at 7 a.m. It was like the conditions were terrible. We used to have to try to like guess where the 10 yards were. Where's the 50? And now you go in there and you're like, are you freaking kidding me right now? Like, it's like perfect turf and it's like beautiful and there's nice lighting. And I mean, I'm jealous, but again, I would never trade it in the world. For what we went through, I would never trade it. But I mean, it's, by the way, their lockers have their pictures and they have lights. And I mean, we used to have to sit in like tables. And figure our own little mirrors because all the veterans would take all the big, there was like a seniority where the girls all came. So you just had to you just managed. We even had to put buckets in the locker rooms when it would rain. We'd have to put buckets because it would be raining into like where we're getting ready. There would be leaks in the ceiling.
Yes, go Oakland Coliseum. Go Ducko.
I don't think they have that issue now.
Yeah, no, they definitely do not. They definitely do not. And speaking of, I think someone was asking about this as well. Here is the facility that she was somewhat speaking of. Of course, if you haven't been to the Raiders headquarters, this is the Raiders headquarters here. Tell me about this photo.
This was our 60th anniversary reunion where every Raiderette from every decade got to go, and we did a 6-minute performance during halftime. And we had Mark Davis just rolled out the red carpet. He rented out all of Topgolf on Friday. Next day, we went on to this facility to practice the routines. And then he did a gala that night. So it was at the Allegiant Stadium. And he had like violinists and he had like food and the most incredible event. And then on the day of the game, he let us have the entire Win Club and all performed. So every decade was on every line, and then we all danced with the Raiderette on our line. So it's pretty special. We do this. They try to do this every 10 years, but this year was or the year that it happened, which was it was the year before last.
2 years ago? Yeah.
2 years ago.
Well, shout out to the Raiders organization and Mark Davis for treating you ladies like the queens that you are, because I think that's absolutely amazing. Here's a photo right here. I think I see you third from the back there.
Yes. So right there, we're on the 50-yard line. In front of me is Tiffany McNiff, who is the Raiderettes director. And then you have Danielle in front of her. And then you have Aubrey, who retired this year. And she, I believe this was her 5th year.
Okay. Do you remember what you performed to? Do you remember?
I think they had different songs. Oh my gosh. These boots are made for walking.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
About that.
I think that might have been our 50th. I think that was our 50th reunion where the OGs were dancing to that song.
Yeah. And that was in Oakland, right?
That was in Oakland before
the OGs, right?
Yeah, that's what they had said.
So no, I don't, I probably should, but I have the worst memory when it comes to that kind of stuff. I don't remember.
And here's a photo from the Win Club, as you said. The ladies got to enjoy that.
So that's our Latina group.
Okay, our Latina group.
Hi, Latinas.
Those are the Mexicanas. We have Rebecca, who up in the front right, she's married to Skip Heat, who was a Raiders coach. And now he's coached for Dallas. He's coached for the Bears. Now he's at Tampa. And she was like one of the cover girls. Lupita, to her left, is her cousin, who was also one of the Coors Light girls. She's really sweet.
Oh, fun.
Really good friend. So, those are the Latinas. So we thought it would be kind of cool to take a picture together.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to our Latina Raiderettes.
Do you meet up with them besides you do? Besides going to the reunion?
So I'm a godmother to Rebecca's twins. I'm one of the godparents for that. And then so I see her. She's in Tampa. So Tampa's pretty far away. And then Rebecca's right behind me. So she's the 1, 2, 3, 4, right behind me. And then Lupita's right behind her in that picture.
Okay, very nice.
That's a sisterhood inside a sisterhood.
Look, Tiffany is it, I think. She spotted that camera. She had camera awareness right there.
The cameras are for sure.
So the camera, right?
Yeah, so Lupita was she was like the Raiderette before. When I came on, she was like the Raiderette. She was on all the point of sale. And I've gotten her into golf. So now she's going to be spending some time with us in the desert of Palm Springs for my birthday in 2 weeks. So she's
nice. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
I just want to show this photo from the reunion because this dress is
Ooh.
everything. I give this a red carpet round of applause for this look.
Oh,
If I were in shape, maybe she'd let me borrow it.
You're so funny. Thank you.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Okay, tell me about this ensemble. Walk me through it.
So that's Olivia, and it's where I'm right in front of the Allegiant Stadium right before we go into the gala. So I thought it would be kind of cute to take a picture because I don't normally dress like this. So
You should. Everyone should.
Everyone should. Put it on to go out to get a cup of coffee.
It's not a cape, and it's all one piece. Yes.
There's
yeah,
sleeves.
it's all one piece, and it drapes all the way down, which I thought was really cool. And it just gave me like a Raiders vibe when I saw, like, when I was looking for a dress, and it was like, what color are you gonna wear? I was like, well, I could only wear black. Like, I have to wear black.
There's one answer.
When I
totally.
This, I was like, this is the dress.
All right, and it looks like you got a cute little bag to go with it. The shoes are banging. They've got a little edge to them like the Raiders, but they don't take away from the outfit. Of course, the hair and makeup's on point.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Right?
Yes, I love it.
I feel like I'm doing like a pregame red carpet.
Who are you wearing? Who are you wearing?
The shoes, the high heels are by Valentino, and they have those spikes on them.
Yes, love.
So they have the little spike studs. So I thought that was very Raiders. And then the red lips, just in honor of our game day red lips.
Yeah, they pop. I thought that they were Christian Louboutins with the spikes. I think they're kind of known for that as well. But Valentino, can't be mad at Valentino. So let's segue a little bit. If you have some more time, we want to segue into what you're doing now. Of course, we want to celebrate the Raiderettes on and off the field. Tell us about what you're up to now, Miss Erica.
So after I was done with the Raiderettes, meaning like once I moved on, I wanted to come back home, which was close to Los Angeles. I grew up in a small town, 45 minutes outside. And I ended up moving to the West Side and got into beauty. I always wanted to be in beauty, and started working for a med spa. I purchased a tanning boutique at the time, made it very boutique-y, and then got into aesthetics, and then was actually one of the first microblading artists in LA here. So I opened up the first brick and mortar Beverly Hills Microblading, which is where I am now. At 2 locations here, and then we just offer aesthetics. And then through this, I started kind of like an academy where I am able to teach my craft to women that come from all over. I've been honored to be a speaker at the Vegas PMU conference, which is one of the biggest conferences in the nation, for like 3-4 years in a row, when we get so many women that are trying to figure out what it is that they want to do. And then here, what you see is me being featured on E! Network on the show Botched. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the show. Where I did Dr. Nassif's on the show, which was really cool. And it kind of catapulted me out, to work with many celebrities after that because of that segment, actually, because I'm actually fixing the brows of the man that fixes everybody's plastic surgery.
Right. What year was this? Do you remember?
Yes, that was in 2021.
Okay, so I feel like that's semi-recent.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my mask for COVID. COVID. Yeah. So.
Okay. And I'll leave this up to you if you want to say where you're located. Well, you already, I guess, said where you work, but if you want, whatever information you want to give, I guess if you're in the LA Beverly Hills area and you want to be worked on by this beauty, she will let you know where to find her.
Beverly Hills Microblading, that's my Instagram, and if you guys want to reach out and want to get your brows did, I do men and women. It's been a great specialty, and I'm very blessed. I have people from all over the world that come see me, and I work on a lot of celebrities. So it's and you know what? And I have all this. I don't feel like I would be where I am had I never been a Raiderette. So many things about beauty and life and looking good and just and then I can't lie. I mean, when you tell somebody you're a Raiderette, it really just does open doors for you. So I'm very thankful.
Well, that's great. I think that's a great thing because I think then there's respect. There's the respect there, and people say, okay, that's a brand that's associated with something
Commitment
that's
to
important.
excellence.
It's excellence. There you go, Mother Moon.
Yeah.
and we would be in the locker room, and I was the one that was like helping people with makeup, and that's really what gained my. I mean, I was always a tomboy. I was into beauty, but that really catapulted me. I mean, that's Kendra Wilkinson from the Girls Next Door.
Yes.
Yeah, I did her, and I golf with her. She's my golf partner. I golf with her all the time.
Oh, how funny! Is she good? She's probably good, right?
Yeah.
Really good. She's really competitive. I was just texting her today because she's coming out to our Palm Springs place.
Oh, fun! You know, when in my 20s after college, I used to live in LA, and I would go to the Playboy Mansion parties. Those are the Indra and the Girls Next Door. Were still doing the show. Yeah, were you there? It was like the candy mask. It was like the candy masquerade, the candy Halloween party. Geez, I can't hear. It's been a while now, but I don't even remember. But it was basically all the candy parties.
I used to go all the time, and I was so boring because I didn't really drink, so I would always be falling asleep by like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. But those were
Oh, I was just arriving. No, I'm kidding.
You look familiar.
Yeah, I like let me go back through my like albums from when I was at the candy parties, and like we have a picture together. How funny would that be?
Nailed it.
I know, right? Those were good times though. Like I digressed a little bit, but it was really cool to be like in that atmosphere with somebody like Hugh Hefner. You know, even if you go to the Playboy branded parties now, it will never be the same. I mean, he was actually there, and his uncle was there, or excuse me, his brother was there. The girls were there. It's like if you weren't there at that time, like you can't. It's kind of like being in Oakland, right? If you didn't, if you didn't go, then you can never do it again.
And it was like iconic. You know, the mansion was like, it's not even there anymore. They like, I mean, I don't even think it's there anymore. I think they like redid it or something. But they used to do. I
thought it was there, but I thought it was resold. Yeah.
Maybe they did resell it, or maybe they redid it because it was pretty run down after so many years. But I mean, they used to do the buses. They used to take like shuttles up there and stuff. But yeah, I used to go.
No, we would have to meet in a parking lot in Century City by the mall, park our cars there, get on the shuttle buses, and drive up over to Homely Hills where it was, and then get let into it. And then they would let us in, like we would go to where the fountain is. If you ever saw it on TV, go to where the fountain is. And instead of going, well, maybe you got to go to the front door. I had to go to the left around the mansion to actually get to the backyard where the party was happening.
Oh, that's hysterical. You probably have crossed paths and don't even know it.
Girl,
you may have.
Yeah, no, those were fun times. I definitely went to a lot of, and some of my Raiderette sisters used to come and we used to go there. So it was fun. Those parties were fun.
And by the way, that was when I was in shape.
Oh my God, so funny.
But we had so much fun with you. I know we're up on our time. We can talk to you all night long, and maybe we can have you back on the show with some of your fellow Raiderettes. Before we go out, I don't even know if we actually touched on everything we meant to because the conversation went by so quickly. Is there anything else you want to share with us before we go?
No, I mean, I love the support. I think what you guys doing is amazing. I mean, just highlighting these amazing women who have such great stories, and there's so many of them. So I thank you guys for giving me the opportunity just to come on here and be with you guys. And if there's anything I can do, and let me know. I know a lot of Raiderettes with really cool stories, so I'm happy to introduce you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. We love it.
I think it's so special that you guys are doing this, dedicating your time, and you guys are a great duo. So,
thank you so much. We appreciate it. Eduardo says, thank you. Great show. And for the flashbacks. What did we miss
And
here?
Stuart Schweigert had a lot of great things to say about you guys.
Oh, Stewie, how
Thank
could you
you.
forget
Yes,
about
shout out
Stu?
to Stuart. Thank you so
Yes.
much. He actually recommended you, referred you to be on the show, and he's been a great supporter of what we're doing here over on For Life Our Raider Story and For Life Our Raiderettes Roundtable. So thank you for mentioning that. Shout out to Stu for sure.
You know, he said to me, he was like, honestly, true great content creators, they're like legit Raiders. You got to go on their show. And I was like, absolutely. So he had a lot of great things to say.
We love
Yeah,
that. Well,
we
thank
love
you
him.
so much. If you haven't already, light that torch, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, please, if you haven't already. And if you are playing the drinking game with us, we said it as many times as there are Raiderettes auditioning this year, which is
2,500.
2,555. Was that it?
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. All right, Raider Nation, you know we go out one way.
And only one way.
No music.
Don't go anywhere. Oh my gosh, he's
All right, we want to thank Erica again for being on our show. We appreciate much love to you, and thank you for everybody who watched tonight. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you for joining. Love you.
Bye, guys.